Hi, my name is Alexandra and welcome to my studio. So what are you about to see is our first Dragon Lord 2 knit-along Zoom custom party. The first one that we did at noon. So I scheduled two. So the next one is at 6 p.m. Central Time, and it's for people who may be joining after work or for whatever reason you missed the first one. So I did it twice a day so everybody can join. A little bit of warning, it did not go very smooth. So I was hoping to get at least 45 minutes after Zoom event, but it kicked me out. Just like it just stopped abruptly on 30 something minute, which was way too soon. And I was able to go back, but not everybody gave back. So get back. So please, if you kind of like it was stopped and you were kicked out, my apologies. But between now and my next one, I actually purchased the subscription version, like, paid version of Zoom again, which I stopped. But so we should have plenty of time from, the 6 p.m. one. But I just still wanted to see, for you to see the Zoom not perfect event, because I talk about the pattern and just few things I wanted to highlight and underline before you start, or if you're just about to start it. And overall, it was people were asking amazing questions, and it was very warm atmosphere. So enjoy this non-perfect, absolutely not perfect, Zoom event recording. And I'll see you soon. Bye. Wonderful. And hi, everybody. Oh, so my name is Alexandra Davidov, and I'm obviously the designer behind Dragon Lord 2, and I'm so happy to see you here. I'm so excited. I'm so glad it's a nice, wonderful crowd, and I'm just very excited and honored that you chose to work my design. So yeah, so it's like you can see one behind me here in Orchid Fade and one behind me here in one color. So what I want to do, I would love to chat, but before we chat, since you already start working on it, I want to do a little bit of introduction of a design, if it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to show you. So so what you were supposed to download today to have it is actually 3 files. I didn't print out the chart. So the chart is just a single page, just enlarged, and 2 files, which is one in fade, 12 pages, and one in one color. The reason I did it 2 separate files, I could just, say, oh, just, use one color. I just find it would be much easier to follow if it's like just a separately written just for one color. So because it's quite involved pattern, so I don't want to complicate your life even more. I want to simplify it, so that's why I did it. So 10 pages here and 12 pages here. So probably you already looked through that, and you will see it's pretty detailed. And also, just for people who never worked my fade designs, the fade is written into the pattern. So it's done line by line, and it's actually even printed in different color. Say it again. Did somebody ask something? No? Okay. So it's actually printed in different colors. So you have 4 skeins, 4 colors. I have them lined right here. And each color, when it's written in the pattern, it's actually written in a different color. So I find that, again, the pattern is very logical. So once you get the logic behind it, it's not difficult to follow. But
when you have to work a fade and think of, you know, like following certain fade formula and the pattern, I find it difficult. So again, I just wanted to simplify it. And I read, you know, I wrote down the fade inside the pattern. So just line by line. So you don't have to follow separate fade formula. So in anybody ask somebody ask something or no? Okay. Yeah, I just want to.
I do have a question though. That
Yes.
wasn't me, but because my colorway has one solid color, and I've been hesitating to put the beads on because I wasn't sure which one should be my bead.
Beads are everywhere.
Do you have any advice on that?
Well,
Mute.
yeah. So question, say it again. So you have in your fade, one of the colors is solid, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know whether to make it A, B, C, D.
Oh,
and know
okay.
how many beads to put on.
Oh, okay. So, okay. So let me show you in this, for example. So I didn't see your colors. Maybe you can. Yeah. So what I suggest to do, like for example, in this fade you see here, the B color is actually solid. So to be honest, it's faded like I think I did pretty good job doing fading. So I think it's pretty much, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Like which color, which one it's up to you. But again, you wouldn't even guess that this color is actually solid, right? When you look at the sample. So
Right.
don't be afraid.
Okay.
And once you put the beads on, it's actually kind of unites the whole piece if you're using the same color of beads, because some people using different beads. Another thing is I want to tell you, like, if you look at the sample, it's a little secret. I cheated a little bit because I did. Because when I was picking beads for this yarn, I did too good of a job. Like I did such a good job blending it in, so you can hardly see it. So in a pattern, I actually suggested darker. It's the same, it's basically the same what I used, but the darker beads. So they would show off you know, better. So because it just blends in too much. So what I did on each photograph that I took, I actually repaint every bead.
Oh my gosh.
So yes. So because it was blend. I mean, in person it looks great. It's just very subtle, but it's too subtle for picture. So when you look at the picture, original, like without editing it, it looked like you can just kind of guess the bead is there on the photo. In real life, you can see it because it catches the light, it reflects it. So I repainted every bead. So like in this sample. So my actually kind of like what I learned from that, and I was working with beads for a long time. What I learned from this experience, if you in doubt what beads to use color-wise or kind of like what tone, go with the darkest color in your fade. And then try to pick, you know, like from a darkest color. And what it's going to do, it's going to unite the whole piece. This is just a suggestion. You do what you do. So welcome everybody who is joining in. So I'm just chatting about the pattern before, like, you know, because I don't want people to start and said, oh, I wish you said it, you know, before I start. So a few things that I want, any questions so far? Okay, so I want to underline a few things also. Again, like if you just casting on, because I want to kind of hurry up before you went too far. And so you know certain things. So just before I start the pattern on the page 2, I suggest to read my notes prior to start working. And usually I'm one of those people. I sometimes skip it. But I know. In this case, I don't suggest it. So one of the number one things I want to tell you, you don't have to make a swatch. Ugh, what a crime. Like, I can't believe it, I'm telling you. So the goal is to make it tight. So if your knitting is not tight enough, it's not gonna work. I mean, you can see it's basically for to create a beautiful three-dimensional structure, you need to make it tight. That's why we're using US3 needles for decay weight. So basically what I'm saying is think of sock knitting. So that's how you want to do. And so the reason I said you don't have to make a swatch, so I shouldn't say it, I guess. But if your stitches are firm and fairly tight, you don't have to struggle. But you know, fairly tight, not loose, you're good. And if your swatch, or you know, like if you like measuring, you know, what are you already done, and it's actually tighter than my gauge, it's even better. So this, like, it's not gonna affect too much. I mean, it's not a fitted garment, so it doesn't matter if it's gonna be slightly smaller. Okay, so, but just think of sock knitting and think of knitting tight. If you're a very loose knitter, I would go like to 2.5 US. Yeah, and speaking of which, this is another thing. I'm giving like a little class on it right now. So what I'm wearing here is in solid color, and this is actually magpie fiber, and that was my own test knit for this design for solid color, and it's a swanky. What is it called? Swanky decay. Yeah, I think it's swanky decay. So it's got cashmere, 10%.
Mm.
So what it does, it's absolutely stunning yarn, but what cashmere does in any kind of
Creepy.
luxurious fibers like alpaca, you know, silk, it relaxes the fiber.
Mhm.
And even those 10% kind of basically those fibers are texture killers. Just they just kills the texture. So to compensate for that, I had to knit this sample in 2.5 US. So I had to go down just to compensate for 10%. So keep it in mind. If you're not using suggested yarn, if you're using anything with silk or cashmere, think of go down a needle size. Yeah, unless you're a very tight knitter, then we're good. Because I'm right on the gauge. I'm like I learned, like I used to be super tight, and then I kind of learn not to do that. Another thing I want to stress out that a pearl side is the right side. So you wouldn't believe how many emails and questions I get when people say, how come everybody's piece looks textured and mine looks flat? And I know the answer, but I usually say, just shoot me photo of what we're talking about. And they send me a picture of this side, of the wrong side. And I said, you know what, just flip it. So if you flip it, that's where the texture is. Because we really are conditioned to think that knit side is the right side. So yes, so pearl side is the right side, and we do increases and decreases on both right and wrong side. So this is what makes this pattern not wine friendly. So, so at least at the beginning, if you've done like my other, you know, dragon shawls, you know there is a logic behind it. You know the logic, you're fine. But I don't recommend any cocktails. Not yet. So another thing I want to kind of like really underline, and I didn't know it's an issue until I was teaching class on it, and like several people said, oh, do we have to do purl 2 together through the back loop? So if you already started a pattern, you already probably stumble over this purl 2 together through the back loop. You don't. So here's the answer. I am OCD. and perfectionist. So the reason I put this stitch purl two together through the back loop, so my back side, my wrong side looks perfect. You see those
Mhm.
big straight lines here?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So if I substitute this stitch, so it has no effect on the right side. It's only for this back side. If you OCD like me, you want this probably. So you have to struggle. Or if you just say, okay, I don't want to complicate my life even more, you can substitute this stitch, purl to get together through the back loop, just purl two together. So and so what you're gonna have the just like it's not gonna be as perfect. It's gonna have like a little tiny, you know,
Angle.
like a yes, they're gonna be
But
angled.
I also noticed though that when you purl two together at the end, it makes a very nice edging.
Yes. Again, thank you. That's the goal, but nobody cares. You know why?
Nobody's gonna see it.
Nobody's gonna see it because once you probably already, so I'm working on a tiny swatch here. So this is what you cast on right now, or casting on 18 stitches right here.
Right.
And you see what you're going to have, you're going to have those little extra, like somebody called it dragon teeth, sticking on each side through all the project. And I actually, it's a whole story. It took me 2 years to figure out that it's okay to have them and have a beautiful edge. But what happened? Yeah, so
Watch it.
the edge is
No.
great, but we will block them on the wrong side. You see?
Oh, you won't sew them then.
No, but just for your own satisfaction is there. Like I'm happy. So that's why it is. And another thing is I want to just I don't want to give the whole class because it's like 3-hour class, 2-hour class, but I can talk about it. But so what happens? You have those triangles and then we block them to the wrong side and when we actually attach them to the wrong side. But it's watch my video of finishing techniques. It's not a big deal. It's not going to take you forever because you're attaching them only at the certain points. And it's going to go much faster than you think. But what it does, it gives a really wonderful like a heavy edges, and it's like truly three-dimensional at the edge, which is like really nice and clean. And it just makes me so happy that, you know, it's kind of like I love the edging. And it also makes the piece a little bit more heavier. And what it does, it drapes beautifully. So let me show you very quickly how I suggest to style it. You do what you do, but so you just stretch it out, the ends, and start bringing ends together. And what happened, you see how it start draping on its own? Just let it, because of the edging. And so just let it do its thing. You don't, so basically it's like easy styling, but it works. And then you just drape it if you decided to wear it around your neck. Just drape it around your neck. You don't have to fuss with it. And bring the ends together. So you see how it's like nice and it just frames you beautifully. And you can either have them hanging here, the tassels, or you can pull it slightly more. And you know, it's got magnetic snaps. So you snap it here and it just stays there. Or the way I do it constantly, whoever, Kelly saw me running around Vogue Knitting Live a few months back, or what is it, months back?
January. Yeah.
Yeah,
One
it's
two.
yeah. Yeah, so I usually put it around one shoulder and I snap it on the side simply because it gets a little bit hot and it's also like it looks like it just shows the texture so beautifully. It looks like you're wearing like a dragon hide. So I think this is all I wanted to be like kind of like yeah, so if you're struggling with purl two together through the back loop, don't worry about it. Just do purl two together. Any questions?
I have a question. Can you hear me, Arlene? I'm doing the Sailor Mercury like you did. And did you integrate 2 balls? Or did you just go with the 1 ball at a time?
It's a beautiful question. Perfect. Okay, there is because it is, obviously it's,
I mean, some of the balls are a little different, but not
Yeah.
much really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but you will see the line if you just
Okay.
go one after another. So what I did, I work actually with 3 balls at once.
Okay.
And I would incorporate, so like I use 3, and then I would cut one of them, place a 4th one, and work this way. So this is how I do it. It's for me, it's easier to work with, or you can do 2 by 2,
Yeah.
once. So whatever works for you. You will have quite like that much left, actually.
Okay.
If you're using 1 color. So, but you still need 4, but you have to alternate. Or another way of doing it, which is actually kind of smart way of doing it too, if you have like, I alternate this one too, even that it seems like a perfectly 1 color yarn, but I wasn't sure because it's hand dyed. So I
Yeah.
don't want to take any chances. But this one has speckles, so you definitely want to alternate. So what you can do, you can use, instead of this pattern, you can use this pattern and just label your skeins A, B, C, D.
Okay.
Alternate, like work like you're working in multiple colors, but in one. And this way, I think it would blend in beautifully as well.
Good idea. Okay.
2 options.
Because I mean, when I was winding it, I noticed there's not a lot of difference, but sometimes there's a little difference. I get it, right? So,
Definitely. Well, hand dye is hand dye. Like,
yeah.
But
Okay.
again, I was fading this, not fading, alternate.
Started a little already and I haven't integrated yet, but I'll just take it from here and do it then, huh?
Yeah. So
Okay.
2 options.
Okay.
Right. Anybody else? Sure. No, it's a wonderful question. So glad. Oh, we have such a nice group of people. How wonderful. So, another thing, I guess, because I want to kind of like, tell you a few things. I want to have a chance to tell you those things about the beads. So I know I said a lot about it during, like when I was putting vlogs about it. So it is crucial to use good quality beads because you'll be placing it directly on the yarn. So you have 2 options. Usually, nowadays when you order it, it comes in tubes. Like it used to be like 30-gram packages. I don't know what happened. Now it's mostly 20 grams, which is very convenient. So you need 80 grams. So 4 tubes, for this design, and we have 4 skeins. So just because, like, if you don't want to count each one of them, like, so you can put whole 20 grams on each skein. It's extra, but this way you don't have to mess with it. If you're putting exact amount that I suggested to place 10 extra because I personally, just in case you make a mistake, so you have extra beads. Why we're putting them directly on the yarn? And I'm a big fan using crochet hook. I do a lot of bead knitting, but in this case, let me show you on this. So the bead is kind of like a perfectly nesting in between stitching. And you see how it turns. So it's 18 stitch pattern repeat. So you really don't have this center stitch to place it on. And some people try to convince me that they can do it. Again, they can do whatever they want, but there is no way, okay, for this design. So yeah, it's maybe in the future I will do the dragon ones, which with a center stitch, but there is a purpose for that. And I like how it kind of nests inside. So there's the pluses and minuses of placing beads prior to work. So some people find it annoying, you know, oh, it's just so much work. But once you do it, it's right there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's there. So you just, all you do, you just, you know, pull the bead and, you know, continue with your work. So especially if you're traveling with your project, it's much easier to travel when your beads already on a, you know, on a yarn. Otherwise you have to have a container with beads and a hook. So it's like whole different story. So another thing people tell me that my bead damaging yarn. You see all the samples, and my first one, which you don't see, I unraveled 7 times because I wanted to get it right, you know, and 7 times I thought like it's gonna peel like crazy because 7 times I was moving those 20 grams of beads, you know, like plus around my yarn. Not a single, even like there is no peeling whatsoever. So but I was using good quality beads. So
And good quality wool.
yeah, sure, true. Yeah. I actually was amazed how amazing La Bien-Aimée yarn is because you don't see even a trace of it. 7 times traveling. Yeah.
Alexandra,
Yeah.
can you please try your shawl on your shoulders?
Oh, sure.
Model it. Yeah, thank you.
Which one? The shoulder,
Yep,
like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. In the back.
Oh, in the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to see how big it was.
Oh, okay. It's right there. Do you see it? I don't know what you see.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you turn around, like put it on your shoulders and turn around.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Okay, okay.
Yeah, like a regular shawl. How big? Okay. Okay. All right.
And
Thank you.
this one is actually knitted with 2.5. So this one is
Oh wow.
is
Small.
smaller. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a very good size shawl. Yeah. So if
Thank you.
sure. No, it's a very good point. Yeah. So another thing I wanted to tell you about the tassels. So I know Kelly already did it. She did an amazing job, like with tassels for the previous Dragon Lore. I do encourage you to actually make them. It sounds crazy and kind of like in the beginning when I thought like, okay, I'm gonna write a pattern for leather tassel, and I thought nobody will make it, and then I thought like, okay, I'll just put, it's up to you. You can purchase it, you know, like ready-made tassel or make a fiber one, but it's just so much fun to go kind of explore different technique. And my point is, no, am I rounding? Like, why is it asking me running out of time? Oh my gosh, it's time left only 10 minutes. Oh my goodness. So leather and wool. I think it's such a beautiful marriage. So that's my opinion. It's beautiful. And you don't need any special tools. All you need is my templates, which I draw, by the way, like it's all designed by me. And leather, when you can use artificial leather, it doesn't have to be leather. But what you're looking for something that bends well. You know, if it's too tough, if it's too tough, it would be very difficult to work with and too heavy. So it just have to be like bent like this. And scissors, sharp scissors, and markers. That's it. And glue. That's it. You really don't need anything else. This stitching here is I did just for extra texture. You don't have to do it. You can just glue it all together. And that's it. I just did it for extra. And I don't have a special sewing machine. I just have a regular sewing machine, and I was able to stitch those 2 layers together. Sorry. That's my that's my daughter. Sorry. I didn't tell, like she wants to see baby. Like the squeak, my dog, it's not my dog, it's your dog. So okay. I'm just gonna, sweetie, I'm on a Zoom. I'll call you later. Bye. So she's in California, and this is her time before school, and she calls to see her baby.
Ready to be an e-commerce bot.
I don't know what happened. So I actually lost myself. I don't know where I am. Do you see me?
Yes.
Oh, so something happens, I guess, when you got
Interesting, huh?
yeah. So
You know,
yeah,
I made, not to interrupt, but I made the last one, and instead of using the tassel, I did the jewel closure
beautiful. I think I saw
instead.
it. Yeah, that's
So that, I mean, that's an option, you know.
it's well, it's dragon.
Yeah.
I think bejeweled would be very welcoming.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it's before we end, like it's crazy. The time is actually, I don't know why it's saying I only have 10 minutes.
You
So
only get 45 minutes with the free Zooms, not a whole hour.
yeah, I stopped doing, I used to do for years membership and I just stopped. So my apologies. But so if anybody wants to kind of like you just said, you know, use jewel piece, any questions, any suggestions, anybody wants to say hi, please.
I have a suggestion.
Yes.
So I'm left-handed, and I found that for me, just holding my knitting one direction and purling backwards is easier for me than purling on the right side. So I'm knitting the whole thing backwards. So the purl side, like you're looking at the right side and I'm looking at the wrong side. But right now I'm knitting, so I'm going the right direction. But when I go to purl, I'll just purl from left to right. It's easier for me. It's less, my fingers don't hurt as much.
I think it's a wonderful, thank you so much. It's like, I'm not a left-handed person, but I get questions all the time. And now I'll keep in mind what you just said, and that would be my suggestions. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. It's also easier to purl through the back loops easier.
Oh, here you go.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go. Because I got so much people I'm angry with me through this, you know, with this back loop things.
That's, yeah. Oh, well.
I mean, it is awkward, but once you get used to it, because this is my third one, so you get it. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. Thank you for saying that. Absolutely. It's like in the beginning, like when you like right here, it does feel awkward. Because but then once you kind of like you know, again, no wine in the beginning.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Not the-
Can't get at night with wine anyway, too dark. So it's all day on it.
Right. And by the way, you know, I'm hosting the one at the evening today. So if you want to join in, but I will repeat myself a few times. So just please, it would be fantastic. Another thing I wanted to show, I don't even know, did we got interrupted? I actually completely, I see very small, I don't see the chat, and I'm afraid to do anything because I'm afraid to close it. So I apologize, I did not see the chat. If somebody asks a question.
Alexandra, I have a question for you. I know you've shown me this before, but could you show how to attach the new color of yarn in the fade?
Okay, great question. So in a fade, so what you're gonna do, it will be always be attached. If you look at your piece at the right side, right, it would be always being attached on the very end, the left end, like when you look at the right side. So right here. So and we only attach it here, and we only switch colors on this side. So we like, yeah, but it's what I try to do, like in this pattern, I actually rewrote it from a previous one just to kind of like make it more, you know, explain it more. So so it's right here, it's always here. And what I do, I don't have I'm not at this point in my knitting, so I cannot show you right now, but I just literally, you attach the yarn, you know, like just introduce a new yarn the way you do it. I do a horrible thing. I tie a knot, you know, don't anybody. I even tell it in my classes because it's secure, you know, and you attach it right at this point, right here. And then you don't even have to take a knot out. Because this, like, it would be right here at this point, because we block this on the wrong side and it will be completely hidden. So another thing I want to kind of stress out, when you cast on the side 9 stitches, you can cast on any style you want. It doesn't have to be the way I do it. And the reason is because we just need those 9 stitches. And if it doesn't look perfect, doesn't matter. I'm perfectionist and I'm telling you, doesn't matter, because again, we're gonna block them to the wrong side. So don't kill yourself trying to make those stitches beautiful. And if you have your own favorite way of doing casting on the side, just do it. Okay. But thank you for the question. Yeah. So basically, like, yeah, I'm trying to be very detailed in the pattern, but nobody's gonna die if you do something, like literally no one is going to die. So it's fine.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you show a video on finishing and blocking?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't be
Is there
scared.
a link in the pattern?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to.
The steaming.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Sorry. The steaming doesn't interfere or hurt, you know, because I blocked the last one the way you did it with the steamer thing. It doesn't hurt the beads at all, right?
No. I actually had this situation in my very first one show, but I didn't know much about beads, so I just purchased check beads, golden ones, and I didn't know that they were painted. They were not. So what happened, like when I was steaming it, it crackled, and I started crying because you know, like what I'm gonna do, but it's actually worked in my favor because it made it look more antique. Yeah, it looked beautiful, but that's why I'm saying, like, stay away from like this type of beads because you don't even know what you're getting. Yes,
Yeah, I'm only using what you recommend anyway, so I'm not going beyond.
Yeah,
I trust you.
Yeah, and don't use wooden beads. I don't know, somebody wanted to use wooden beads. They are not very smooth inside. They will damage your yarn.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I honestly, like, again, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I don't see the chat. So once my daughter called, I guess I lost it.
If I don't want to use beads, I just do the pattern as it's written, but don't put beads on?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Or did you purchase the pattern already, the second one?
I have. I'm doing the lore, the fade, and
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's yeah, but I didn't want to have like 4 hours, so I thought like 45 minutes is fine, you know, but it just went so fast.
I know, and everyone's having fun, and you really explain, and then it's like, oh, what's next? And yeah.
So my apologies. It's awkward. I hate to end in a car, but you know, what can I do? So, oh, thank God people are tuning in. Good. Yeah, I can relax, I guess, for a bit more. It's a bad thing that I lost the chat. So you know, it's
Oh, I think it would have vanished anyway now that we left and came back. So,
yeah,
yeah,
but I didn't see basically any questions. So did you have any, Kelly, did you have any questions by any chance?
No, I'm good. I'm loving it. I'm doing 1 bead per scale instead because honestly, I'm not sure what these beads are. I found them in a bucket, but they're moving pretty well on the yarn. They're probably some cheap stuff I just had, but they seem okay.
So I don't think so. You know why I don't think it is? Because your beads look very unified. So one of the ways you can tell it's a cheap beads because they like squished, you know, like, but
yeah,
look very unified. So yeah, I guess you got lucky. You have a good quality piece.
Oh, good. Yeah, I got them on with a sewing needle too. I don't know how that worked, but I was like, this is good.
So it also means it's a good quality because usually the check beads are very small in like opening is very small. So yeah. So well, I'm glad we have, you know, a few people here back. So yeah, so it's I'll try to kind of like warn people, like be aware of time, a little bit of
Yeah.
I have it of time for the second one. So but I hope, you know, I'm glad a few people came back. So anybody else wants to say where they're from or what they knitting with?
I'm live in North Carolina. Alexandra, I met
Oh,
you in Savannah. Hi.
Jamie, I didn't recognize you in such a, like, I think I never seen you with a hair like this. So I actually didn't recognize you.
Not a problem. I have the dragon lore, or mountain dragon from La Biename.
Yeah. It's a beautiful set.
It is really
Are you
pretty.
putting beads? I don't
Yes, and I'm putting the beads. I got two of them that you suggested. You can't see them. It's the dark color,
Yeah.
which was a nice suggestion from you. So thank you. I appreciate it. It looked really nice.
Sure. I'm sorry, Jamie. I didn't
No,
recognize
no
you.
apology
Sorry.
necessary. I'm the speaker.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Robin. I'm in Texas. I attended the Fiber Fest last year, took your class.
Wonderful.
And I'm the one on the Ravelry group that posted the leather guy and got the CL Doarge set.
You got me into this rabbit hole of looking. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. But it's his prices are very good.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was fast. I think it took 3 days to get the leather in.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm diving in. But thank you for the suggestion. Yeah. And I'm sorry, where are you from?
Texas.
Texas. Yeah, you're in Texas. And where in Texas?
I'm in Fort Worth.
Oh, you're my neighbor. Here you go.
Yeah, I got to attend the Fiber Fest last year and take your class.
Are you coming this year?
Oh, yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah, I'm teaching there too. I'm excited. Such a nice event. By the way, for everybody, if you like, you know, like it's Dallas DFW Fiber Fest is a wonderfully run, beautiful event.
And the best, sorry, and the best shopping. The amount of yarn. Wow.
Yeah, it's a very good market. So it's also like I like it's not too big. I mean, it's because some of the markets when you go, it's just like it's just too much. But it's a very good market. Yeah. Are you what is your like a local yarn shop, West Seven Wall?
Yes. Yeah. In fact, our knit night is tonight at 6, which is why I'm here during lunch.
Well, tell them I said hi. Tell Amy I said hi. Okay, I haven't been there for a while. It's up. West Seven Wall is amazing yarn shop. Amazing.
Are you gonna stop by for the yarn crawl?
I think I'm not going to be here. I think I'm teaching in Colorado, so I have to double check. So it's kind of like, yeah, I will see, but I'll try to. But sometimes it's like, you know, I want to chat with Amy and Hunter, and during yarn crawl, there's no way. So I like to show up when it's just more quiet. Yeah. Anybody else? You want to say where you're from, what you're knitting with? Oh, okay. Agnes said, I tested it with the center stitch, not a nice looking. Thank you for, you know, doing work for us. Yeah. No, I think this is a chat from a previous one. I don't understand. Is it? Yeah, it looks like it is. Oh, so Sherry's from Netherlands. Oh my goodness. Hi. Welcome. Oh, what a beautiful area. I've never been, always wanted to go. And where are you in Netherlands? I don't know if she heard me, but it's okay. Yeah. So yeah, so if you want to participate in Cal, you definitely you don't have to use La Bien-Aimée, of course, but it is amazing yarn, that's for sure. Near Germany. Oh, I see. Wonderful. One day I'm gonna go. Oh, do you want to see my other solid color one that I have? Okay.
Sure.
So, because I have, I made those two. I bought a second set just to make a second sample. And this one is gonna go, or this one is gonna go to Paris. So once it's done, but it's like one of the hottest colors right now, which doesn't matter, of course, but I kind of like it. It's khaki or like olive green, but like khaki of this color, it's khaki is such a loose kind of like loose thing. It's like it could be like very different colors, but basically olive green. So so I got magpie fiber, and I got those really beautiful bronze matte beads. And I think it's just such a nice, very subtle kind of like, it's because I actually got the golden beads and it would look great, but this is more subtle. I love it. So, and I'm looking right now, I'm purchasing, it's in a, I didn't receive it yet. I have only one piece of one leather. And I want to have like a bronze and khaki, like a olive green leather tassels. So yeah, isn't it nice? I love it.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. And it's just that, it's a beautiful yarn too. But again, I have to knit it with 2.5 because it's got cashmere.
Oh, I accidentally bought suede. Does it matter? I didn't know what I ordered.
Oh, no.
Okay, cool. So I can still use it.
No, but I do have a suggestion. So it's again, it's like, it's really like, because I a lot of time think of how it's gonna translate what I make in a camera and in a photograph. So when I use so suede doesn't reflect the light, obviously, right? So what happens is for just a picture, like what I find when you use, like, for example, you using all suede, like all three pieces are suede, or no?
No, I have a really nice metallic and a matte leather, so I thought maybe the suede would be better for the tassel because it's darker too, so I could hide it in the back. So like you said, the light will reflect nicer on the metallic one. Okay, as long as it still works.
Yeah, no, it does. I made it before, but I do like, that was my kind of suggestion to use it for a tassel because it does look better if you have something metallic or something, shinier than suede on top. Yeah, for sure. But again, like in person, it's gonna look gorgeous no matter what. Yeah. So it's just for like for taking pictures.
Cool.
Oh, nice. So I'm kind of disappointed with the Zoom. So I wish it gave me kind of like a little bit of warning. It's just like kick me out. And everybody, most of the people too. So
you could try Google Meet. It's free and you don't have to have an account, I don't think, if you're joining it, and you'll get a link, but I don't really know much. I've used it once or twice, but it doesn't have a time limit.
No, well, we just so kind of like, I'm so used to using Zoom for years. So, I know how to switch between cameras, this and that. So trying the whole new thing, it would be maybe too much.
I get it.
What about Heather? Do you want to say hi? It's okay. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I'm just curious where you are.
Hi, yeah, I'm from Georgia right now. I'm visiting family in Dallas.
Oh, where are you in Dallas?
Yeah, I'm north of Dallas in Frisco area.
Oh, nice. Yeah. How do you like Dallas?
It's pretty nice. It probably gets too hot in the summer for me here. So
and this time we didn't have really winter, right? Like
no, yeah, it's been very strange.
Yeah, it just it was jumping too much and boom, it's spring. So I
Yeah.
honestly I don't know. And it went so fast. I was actually thinking maybe I should leave my Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Because time goes so fast, like just save
Yeah.
time. I took it off, but anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's yeah, it's I've been in Savannah, Georgia with
Okay.
you know, with Jamie in this what is it was it September?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
September.
It was absolutely beautiful. Like you live in
Yeah.
such a beautiful place. The only issue for me was like humidity plus heat in September.
Yeah.
It was actually
Yeah.
worse in Texas.
Yeah.
If like for me, I was not like maybe if you in the Houston area, it's that humid, but I was not expecting that much heat in middle of September. But it
Yeah.
was gorgeous. Savannah
Yeah.
is just, it was my first time, and it's such a historically beautiful, stunning place.
hmm Yeah, I'm more north. I'm north
Mhm.
of Atlanta, where I'm in Georgia, so I'm at the foot of the mountains up there.
The mountains there, oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're very nice.
Ugh, the, are you doing a lot of hiking?
Some, yeah. Every once in a while, I try to get out there when it's not too humid. The springs and falls are pretty nice to get out into the trails.
Yeah. I find like where we are and we go hiking, it's funny because like we love going hiking, but we have two dogs. And so we usually, you know, it's like if you drive like, you know, more than 2 hours, you want to stay a night somewhere, right? Like you
Yeah.
don't, I mean, we don't. So we go somewhere in a park and with a lodge and stay there for a couple of days usually. And but now Texas, few years back, I think it was pre-COVID, they made a new rule that dogs are not allowed anywhere in a state or national park buildings. So
Oh,
it used to be you would be able to get like a pet friendly room, like in a
right,
lodge or cabin, but now you
right.
can't even rent a cabin. So
Oh,
so now we kind of like forced to go away from Texas. So we go
yeah,
up to Homer or Arkansas, and the parks there are insane, like gorgeous.
yeah, yeah,
But it's just the beginning, like it's a hilly, it's not mountains, and so we
right,
love that, but we have
yeah,
to go there just because we travel with dogs. Yes.
right,
Yeah, so it's but your area is just insane, insane.
yeah.
I would love to do that. Cher said it's her first time using beads, and she put first one and she got so excited. I feel the same way. So when I got so addicted knitting with beads that I actually have a design of socks with beads just because I love it. It's not very practical, but it's so pretty. And just like when you put one, I get so excited every time, like it's here. I love it. So I know exactly how you feel. Yeah. Yeah, so any questions before we end? Like I'm trying to think what else I can say, but three of you already took my classes. I guess you know most of it. I don't know. I wanted to show you something else I got. Do you want to see?
Yeah. Oh,
It
yeah.
I got a new one. So I have this and I love it so much. And because, you know, I make for new designs so many samples that I like to keep, like, for example, here. Oops, what did I just do? Oh, gosh. I have it here just for Dragon Lore and Dragon Lore 2 items. So those are so this way, like I don't have to search for my things. It's like it all in one spot. So I have the needles here, like three sizes. It's two sizes, but three. And all my stitch markers and everything else is here. I love it. So, but I want to tell you, this is kind of like secret. I'm redesigning I'm Dragon 3 because one of the reasons I want to do something different with beads, and I want to redesign the fade because the fade there is fine, but I think because it's written in a pattern, I realized something while I was working on this, how I can improve it so it's more smooth. So I purchased the new one, so I'll have everything for the new design. You know,
Nice.
so
Clever.
I'm excited. Yeah. Well, it's just because I'm gonna make like 10 samples or 10 samples of the same thing. I would, I want to keep all in one spot. And the secret, hush hush, is that I'm again collaborating with Le Bien-Aimé, and they are dyeing brand new sets, fade sets for I'm Dragon 3, but it would be fingering weight. Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm so excited about it because the stuff they do is just insane. Like the colors and like this one, like this is crazy. How it so beautifully works together. Like just I love it. Love
How
it.
does she do it?
I don't know. It's
I
magic.
don't either.
Yes.
It is magic.
She's extremely talented, like extremely, and she has such a like for example, so she's making this. This is actually done in Denmark in a leather studio, but so she designed it. Every bag she has is so well designed. They're all different. Like some of them have like a more practical kind of like, like a pure black and gold bags. I just cannot live without them. And they're designed by maker for makers. So it's not like somebody had a weird idea. I'll give you example. I'm not gonna say what brand, but I have pretty expensive bag. It's almost like $200 for it, and I got it like 5 years ago. And it's got for knitters, but it's so impractical and almost like it's so poorly designed actually that like I wasn't thinking when I was purchasing because I thought like it has features which are so cool, like openings for the yarn. I'm like, who came up with why? You don't need it. But how you gonna, it just makes no sense anyway. And it's like designed so it's squishing your project and yarn. So it's just no. So she knows what's up. I mean, it just works. So I'm not pushing you to buy anything. I'm just saying like, I'm just sharing when I see something works, I just share that, so that's all. Yeah, so new sets are gonna be insane. Like they're just gonna, it's like a brand new colors that she didn't have before.
Wow.
Yep. I'm excited. Anyway, okay, so what time is it now? It's almost 1 o'clock. So I'm so glad you came. It was so wonderful to see you all, and join in if you have nothing to do at night, And I hope to see you and like, in the chat and Ravelry and see your progress. And I'm really deeply honored that you taking time and money because you purchased the yarn to work on this design. So thank you.
It's worth it. Yes.
Thank you for your creativity.
Yeah.
My pleasure. I'll see you around. Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Bye.